bosses, especially this fight in particular is actually very good. Like, this is one of the best fights in the game, I would say. It's pretty fun to do. Pretty neat stuff. Yeah, so this is... The first part's not that interesting, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna talk about. Probably sort of just general channel stuff. Just whatever comes to my mind, really. But yeah, so I'm playing a brand new class. I'm playing my Braver. This is my preferred class because it has a lot of options. It has the Katana, which is this really fast, cool melee thing. It's got all the really flashy, fun attacks to do. I suppose I'm playing a lot of Braver and a Bouncer because I've been leveling the class, and so I guess Sword Blades are also really fun, but Katana's just got so much more mobility. And it also has a bow, which is another really fun weapon to use, which means this is really good for both having really strong ranged and melee. Which is why I think a lot of people gravitate toward it. And unfortunately, there's no Braver in New Genesis, which I'm very sad about, which means I'm probably going to be playing Hunter because I like both the Partisan and the Wired Lance, which are interesting. A bit weird, but interesting. But yeah. So, there you go. Yeah, this first part's basically an escort mission, combined with like a fuel mechanic. So basically, these little mana bits and these little crystals, you can break the crystals, and to get a bunch of mana, you can grab up the little points to get a little bit of mana. And that chart keeps the cannon charged as it moves through, and there's going to be a bunch of guys who are trying to attack it. And yeah, it's basically what you're going to see me doing is running around, slicing up dudes, and gathering mana, and it's going to pretty much continue the whole way. Because most of the fight's this bit, well, most of the mission is this bit, which is kind of a bit unfortunate because the actual fight with Apprentice herself is very good. Like, it's a really fun, interesting fight. I like how they did it, but this part's a bit kind of whatever. It's not... Oh, well... I just need to stop recording my stuff when I'm tired. Sorry. But... This part's... It's not bad, you know, I don't hate doing it, it's just... It can get a bit boring, you know? It's like, oh... Kill these guys. Whatever. But the fight with Apprentice is definitely worth doing it. So, you know. You got time, you're playing the game, I recommend doing it. We actually got 2 Apprentice... Actually, weirdly enough, there's 2 different Apprentice fights you can do. This... Oh yeah, these ogre guys, I hate these... Let me just rant, these ogre guys are really annoying. I swear, they have obnoxiously good aim, and their barrels do so much fucking damage. Excuse me, pardon my French. Yeah, whatever. Past the 30-second mark, doesn't matter. But yeah, the actual... There's another fight with Apprentice called Mining Base Defense Off, which that's the next video. That's the next video I will be doing. I thought about posting that one first because it's not nearly as interesting, I would say, as this fight, but... You know, whatever. This is the part where video where I think about trying to use my gravity arrow, because, yeah, I have a gravity arrow that sort of sucks enemies in, so I'm thinking about using that, but... I never able to get a good one off, so, yeah, whatever. It's pretty decent to just kind of pull them together a bit. Well, also part of the problem is that someone else is using their gravity arrow, I think. I think that's what's happening here, because I've vaguely seen them pull all the way over there, so... Who knows? Either way, you know. This part's like pretty much just kill the dudes, you know? It's not like I don't really have much to say about it, so... You know. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so... I suppose I should talk a bit about, you know, channel stuff a bit. So I'm still looking for a job, you know. I talked about it a bit last video, but I'm still looking for it. I'm thinking I may get an email today, crossing my fingers, but I'm not counting on it. I did apply for one, and supposedly they were going to send me an email like, oh, you either got accepted or didn't, and I have yet to receive anything, so I don't know if they just forgot, or if maybe I just misheard them. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen today, maybe it won't. Who knows? So, you know, that's cool. Actually, this is the first video I have done with Falz. So I guess I should explain them. They're sort of like the main bad guys of PSO2. You're also seeing the Supernaturals. They're... the best I can explain it is... they're... kind of magical enemies, sort of, that are created through summoning. That's where all like the skeletons, the goblins, and the rock monsters, and the fire lizards, there's a bunch of fire lizards up on the cliff, you can see. That's where all that stuff comes from. They're all from episode 5. And actually this fight's from episode 5 as well. I'd have to like go into more of the story to really explain everything that surrounds the Supernaturals, but the Falz are pretty easy. They're basically just the main evil bad minion people. There's 4 sort of, I guess you could say, well, 4.5. Let's say there's 4.5 Falz types. So there's 4 big Dark Falzes. There's Dark Falz Apprentice, or Apprentice the Vernal, Elder the Gargantuan, Gemini the Duplicates, and Luther the Fallen. And they each have their own sort of... So if you ever played Magic the Gathering, you know there's the 3 big Eldrazi, and they all have their sort of like lineages, their broods, if you will. And the Falz work kind of the same way. So Apprentice the Vernal has the Insectoid Falz. It's pretty obvious which ones they are, because they're the Insectoid ones. Luther the Fallen, as you can see, he has like avian ones, so his are like this red and gold, and they always have wings on them and whatnot, so that's the ones we're fighting right now. Elder the Gargantuan, he has these sort of black, armored, sort of aquatic ones. They'll often have like fins, or they'll be like fish or turtles or whatnot, so his are pretty easy to tell. And then Gemini the Duplicate, they technically has toy-based ones, so they have like Jack-in-the-Box and like these little dolls and cars and whatnot, so they're all very distinct. I really do like that they try to like give each Falz each Dark Falz their own sort of unique flavor. And then I say the 0.5, because I did mention that, is Profound Darkness, which is sort of kind of the same thing as Primordial Darkness from last video, but also kind of not. It's a bit difficult to explain, and again, this is a game that where really explaining everything requires me to go a lot into story, and there's just so much story that I don't really want to do that. He has sort of his own unique, I guess, flavor, if you want to call it that. And then the other one is Dark Falz Persona, who I will avoid spoilers in case you want to play the story mode and haven't seen that yet, but basically he/she has his/her own thing, and I'm saying he/she because, again, Persona is kind of his own thing, her own thing, their own thing, whatever you want to call it as. Yeah, Persona is Persona. I mean, again, you'd have to kind of play the game to figure it out. Yeah, so you can see Dark Falz Apprentice's minions, how they all sort of have the same sort of aesthetic. I'm not sure which one I'd say. So, I've fought all 3 of 4 of them in various points. Elder is a bit of a, I don't know what I call him. He's a bit of a damage sponge. When we were last fighting him, he's not very interesting, honestly. So his fights, basically, he has just a Falz arm phase. You do that for a while, and then you get to fight him properly in like a separate mission. Again, if Armada of Annihilation comes up again, which it should, and I am able to get a recording of that, I will try and explain that a bit more. But his fight's pretty boring. I'm gonna be honest, his fight's a bit boring. Luther's fight's pretty interesting, although he does have some very annoying parts to his fight. Especially on Ultra Hard, he does an absurd amount of damage where you just... He's got several moves that do way too much damage. Or maybe that's just my build, I don't know. It feels like he does way too much damage, but overall, he's pretty interesting. Gemini, I have only fought them, because Gemini is sort of 2 people, I guess, in the Profound Darkness, the Barren Blossom, Urgent Quest. I don't know if there's like another version of them that you can fight just by themselves. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, I don't know. So I've only fought them in that context, and they were fine. Like, I didn't hate them, but Apprentices is probably my favorite just because her fight's definitely the coolest. At least this version of her fight. The version of her fight in Mining Base is kind of eh. But this one's pretty fun. You'll see what I mean when we get there, obviously, because like 2/3 of this thing is just trying to get there. They're trying to, like, getting to the Apprentice fight. What else? Yeah. I'll also get to show off the Dark Blast mechanic, which is a really cool, a really neat thing that they added. Well, that the game has. Yeah. Another thing I want to mention about, I guess, talk about PSO2 a little bit. The game has really good music, so for a free game, it has disgustingly good music. Like, it's kind of impressive how good it is. Yeah. I guess I should talk about more the game, you know. The music is really good. Like, I mean, for some reason I didn't get to that last time, but the music is really, really freaking good. Also, we also finally get to use the Dark Blast mechanic, well, kind of twice because of how the Apprentice fight works, but yeah, that's something else I get to show off in this video, finally, because I don't remember if I was able to build up to it during Primordial Darkness. But yeah, okay, so here you can see sort of how Elder's monsters sort of look, get those sort of scales and all those, like, stony sort of material. And, you know, they're aquatic, because obviously this guy's like a turtle. This joke, he sort of looks sort of like a discount Turtonator or whatever, but if you play Pokemon, you'll get that reference. Yeah, we're close to the end of whatchamacallit. What do I want to call it? Crap, I forgot what it's called. So, or forget to the cannon escort part. That's what I wanted to say. Why did I forget that? Maybe it's a couple more guys, and then we will be out of here, and we will be able to do the actual fun part of this fight. Or the more fun part of this fight. So now that's done. Cannon moves up. And there's like a couple more dudes, and then we get to the final fight. Oh, also, I want to mention, the reason I'm doing this on extremely hard is because ultra hard is a massive slog. I've done this map. Map. What am I saying? I have done this Argent quest on ultra hard. I did do it, so I'm not a coward. It's just that ultra hard is, they gave Apprentice so much health. Like, it takes, most of the fight is just spamming laser beams at her because she takes so long to kill. And this part of the mission, like, didn't last that long. It was like, I'd say it was a bit longer, but it felt about, well, this part, because there's two of these guys and they're buff and they're just massive damage sponges. So that didn't exactly help. But it took so long to get through. I was like, okay, forget this. We're just doing the regular version. I've also done Mining Base on extremely hard because, like, ultra hard is just insanely difficult. And I could not be bothered just trying to group that was able to do it. So if you're wondering why the next two I'm doing on extremely hard, is because it's just easier for me. Both in terms of just videos and just in terms of my own play. So there you go. Yeah. So we gotta bust open this barrier, and I've always thought that was kind of amusing. It's like, why are you tilting the entire tank up when you can just elevate the gun? That seems kind of weird. But yeah, you can actually see Falz Apprentice back inside there. I don't actually turn around to look at him. Sorry. It's weird. They actually referred to Falz Apprentice as a him in one of the, I think in the Mining Base Defense Op Urgent Quest. I'll probably try and point that out, but there we go. That's her full form. She has sort of like a human form, which is like, so all the Falz people require a human host. No, hold on. I want you to see this. There we go. That's her full form. That's just her, like, gigantic form. Her supermassive mecha form. But yeah. Let me try and explain a few things, and then I'll talk more about Falz Apprentice specifically. So, you're fighting her as Luther, which is... So each of the dark... You can actually get, during Episode 5, each of the Dark Falls is sort of their sort of... a version of their sort of battle form, which is like larger than their larger and more powerful than their human form, but not as powerful as their gigantic form. And so this one is Luther, and so you get a version of those for story reasons in Episode 5, and so you have a version for all of them. My personal favorite is actually Apprentice's form, because you'll see I get to use it. So Luther's sort of more of an aerial combatant, that's why you're using it for this one. So he charges up this big laser. He has like an area blast. He has like a super laser, sort of similar to the AIS. He has like tracking things. They're like tracking missiles. You sort of kill them right click and you can track a bunch of, and then home in on a bunch of targets with these little missile things. And then he has, the big mechanic in this fight is the dodge to heal. So you can, I forget how two of them heal, but for Elder form, it's just, he has like a button that you pull, and it's on a timer, but Luther has to dodge attacks to heal. So you can see me charging up the laser, try and hit her wings. And the goal here is to break all 6 wings, and then we break the 2 little things on her shoulders. That's what those called. These little egg things. So she's going to use her, like, claw swipe. She's going to send, like, swarms of bugs after us. And then she has a bunch of, like... It's like all of, like, little capsule things that she sends after you. Obviously, she's, like, shooting me with the lasers. And the lasers are really easy to dodge from. There we go. I think this is actually her last wing. And then, once we do enough damage, she's going to use, like, a super duper mecha attack. And once she uses that, I think it's like a bit longer, and then we get to fight her in our regular person form, which is pretty quick. That last section's mostly just sort of a damage rush straight till the end. So, you know. And then, that's the end of the fight, pretty much. So. Oh, it is really fun to do, though, because getting to use the Luther, so yeah, you can see me using the super laser. And we're obviously going to try and damage her little core right there. But yeah, Apprentice is... I'd say she's probably the most fun out of all the 4 Dark Falls that I've fought. I don't think she's the most fun boss I've fought. I think that probably goes to... I think it's Deimos Demir. He's one of the 2 final bosses of the Armada of Annihilation Interception, which hopefully I will get to show off on this channel, because that mission's really fun and cool. I think I'd probably put him up first. Maybe, I think, yeah, probably him. Nobody else is coming to mind. Profound Darkness has that pretty awful phase 2. Luther's kind of eh. Well, Luther's actually pretty good, it's just he has a couple of annoying bits, and Apprentice really doesn't. So there's her seed attack, that's what I call it at least. And who else? I forget. Gemini is kind of meh. Profound Darkness is alright, I'd say. Like, he's okay. I don't really mind him, though. But isn't really... I guess he's okay. Well, I guess he's pretty good, actually. But yeah, I think... And the other boss of Annihilation is Nemesis, who is mostly just annoying. Yeah, I guess it would probably come down to Apprentice and... Demi, whatever his name is. I really need to look up his name, because his theme which is Battlestars, is awesome. I love his theme. I listen to it all the time. But unfortunately, I guess his fight's not really that memorable. Alright, here we go. This is the super attack, I think. Yes, this is the super attack. So she creates 2 like rotating discs of like circles of laser beams. I end up getting clipped by one there, but on Ultra Hard, those are instant kills. Like you just get deaded immediately. But you pour a bit more damage into her, and then she's gonna fall down into the crater. Then we all go back to human form, and then we have to blow up those bits on her arms. So, back in human form. And you can see I fully charged my Dark Blast down there, and I end up choosing Apprentice. And so she has this blade attack. She can summon like insects to attack people. So Apprentice is a lot of fun to play around with. Although she has like the biggest butt ever. I have no idea what they were thinking with that. Honestly, it makes me kind of happy. That's why I pick her all the time. Don't tell anyone though. Just me being important. Yeah, so Apprentice is sort of my preferred sort of form. I have a lot of fun playing her. And basically it's just a Zord Rush right now, which is gonna blow up all of her little red bits. And so yeah, no, you could see that I was in Luther form there for like ages, but normally when you do a Dark Blast, you can only stay in that form for about a minute. Well, actually, about a minute, exactly 1 minute. And once that form rushed out, as it did there, you go back to regular form. There's also my Photon Blast, you can see on the very end there. Then you can, it depends on, that comes from your mag, which is a little robot floating over my shoulder, and what that does depends on how you can set it to different things. Right now I have it set it to like a monkey guy that attacks everything I attack, and honestly I don't really like it. I admit it's a Steam achievement, which is why I have it, but honestly, there's like a fish thing or whatever that looks like Profound Darkness, and I want to change to that because it looks cool. But yeah, so basically we're at the final point right now, and here we go. So then, it's everyone in your party with their hand on a big sword, and we slice her in half, and she explodes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like I said, pretty fun fight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, full stop. That's, like, basically the end of everything. That's the end of the video, basically. Or at least all of the content I have. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun fighting Apprentice. Hopefully that translates over into you guys having fun watching me fight Apprentice. Hopefully, you know, if you're interested in the game, there you go. There's some stuff to be excited for, I guess. Other than that, I should have another video with the Mining Base Defense Op coming out, hopefully in the next couple of days. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything more to say. I guess thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the PSO2 content I've been putting out. You know, for you people who really want my Monster Hunter content, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling the game right now. Maybe I will in a week or two, maybe I will in a couple months. I don't know when it'll be back, but it should be back eventually. But yeah, you know, hopefully, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy my new stuff. Until then, I guess please like and subscribe if this is kind of stuff that interests you. And yeah, I will see you all in the very next video. Peace.